Right Side News, bringing you the right news for the right side. I'm Jim Hoel, and I am your voice. Welcome to another special edition of the Hoel Report as we continue to investigate the FISA abuse and the evidence used, if there was any evidence, to obtain FISA warrants to conduct espionage and gather intelligence into multiple members of the Trump campaign and to the current President Trump himself, from Paul Manafort to Roger Stone to Carter Page, and who knows how many others. It's within the realm of possibility that his entire family, Barron included, has been under surveillance for the last 2.5 years. And there are questions that still need to be asked about that whole scenario, and it's stuff that no one else is really covering. However, Wikileaks release of Vault 7, codenamed Vault 7, contained some extremely alarming and highly unconstitutional revelations regarding the CIA's ability and the technology that they have developed to spy on anyone or anything they want. The CIA has developed the technology to hack into any Android or iPhone they want, anything from Apple to any kind of laptop, anything they could hack into it. They have that. The CIA has developed that technology. Now, the even scarier part of that is not only did they develop the technology to hack into any phone, any computer, any electronic device, audio recording, any device like that they want. Not only had they developed that capability, they also developed the capability to conceal the source of that espionage and make it look like it came from anywhere in the world. So not only did the CIA develop the technology to use these devices, your laptop, your phone, anything with a camera, anything with a Alexa, Siri, any kind of audio device that can be turned into a recording device. Every phone has a built-in recording device. Every laptop has a camera. The CIA has the capability to hack into anything they want and to use this to spy on you. But not only that, they can make it look like that this espionage came from some other person or a government. So, people could be framed. Now, this all ties in to Donald Trump was made aware of this. He was made aware of, Julian Assange made it clear that Donald Trump knows about Vault 7, and he knows about the CIA's sophisticated spy apparatus, which contains, I'll link the documents. It contains just program after program after program about how to sophisticated stuff that's way beyond me, but I'll tell you, it's how to hack into any kind of Apple, Android, any kind of computer, anything. There's instruction manuals, there's playbook. I mean, it's the information contained in these reports really should be considered some of the most alarming information this country has ever heard. Considering the fact that right now we have an investigation going on that's been going on for 2.5 years. We have traitors, absolute and complete people who are guilty of treason against the United States, in my opinion, that are still out walking around free without any consequences. And going back into this release and this WikiLeaks report, you get the sense of this is why this whole narrative and this whole investigation is so screwed up. When you have the capability to spy on anyone you want, and then to frame any other person for it, like I mentioned in the previous video, it is possible that all of our intelligence agencies are are spying on each other to get information from each other and then framing each other for it. I mean, this Russian collusion, now this dossier, which was paid for by the Clintons, a lot of that information, like Michael Cohen being in Prague, and then once again we had more reports that he had a phone, so his phone pinged in Prague, and sure it did. That's exactly the kind of technology I'm talking about. They can make it look like you were anywhere in the world spying on somebody else, and the government could frame you for it, or whoever has access to this technology. Of course, the CIA went crazy and decided to share it with a bunch of allies who aren't really allies. They just, they just broke the confidentiality of this. And now multiple governments and agencies around the world could do this exact same thing. And there's really not much they can do about it. So, I mean, now my question became, okay, if you could conceal the source of the espionage, make it frame somebody, make it look like it happened anywhere in the world, is there any way to track that, though? Could you go back and see where it originated? Well, believe me, folks, I'm not an internet person. I can barely run a YouTube page. However, WikiLeaks Vault 8 may have some information that may be pertinent to that. There was a couple things I was able to ascertain and that I understood. One of them is Project Dark Matter. This was released, the date on this is March 23rd, 2017. WikiLeaks releases Vault 7 Dark Matter, which contains documentation for several CIA projects that infect Apple Mac firmware, meaning the infection persists even if the operating system is reinstalled, developed by the CIA's Embedded Development Branch. These documents explain the techniques used by the CIA to gain persistence on Apple Mac devices, including Macs and iPhones, to demonstrate their use of EFI/UEFI and firmware malware. Among others, these documents reveal the sonic screwdriver project, as explained by the CIA, is a mechanism for executing code on peripheral devices while a Mac laptop or desktop is booting, allowing an attacker to boot its attack software, for example, from a USB stick, even when the firmware password is enabled. This CIA sonic screwdriver infector is stored on the modified firmware of the Apple Thunderbolt to Ethernet adapter. Dark Sea Skies, another one, Triton, is Mac OS X malware. Derstraka, CIA continues to rely on these systems and is working on the production of Derstark 2. Night Skies 1.2, a beacon loader slash implant tool for the Apple iPhone. Uh, you know, really stuff that is beyond me, but I get the gist of it. All right, this is all a bunch of instruction. I mean, this is how to hack into any. I mean, really, what they did is so irresponsible and so careless that I don't know what in the hell y'all had going on in your minds. But why would you ever invent something like this? Where you could hack into anything, spy on anybody could spy on anybody else. You know, the CIA, they have a hard time understanding the definition of blowback. And apparently they still are, because the effects of this are not just going to go away overnight. When you have this going around the world, multiple governments, in Vault 7, specific examples were cited where we conducted espionage in other parts of the world and framed Russia for it. And you mean to tell me that you don't believe that the Obama administration could have used this technology to try to frame Donald Trump for colluding with the Russians, or framed some of his associates? That, yes, it is a theory. However, it is one that is not without merit. This technology is very new, and like I said before, it's beyond me, but it's confusing as hell. And now, what we have in WikiLeaks. Okay, here we go. Vault 8. WikiLeaks releases source code for Hive CIA's malware control system. So maybe this may have answered my question. I don't know. Almost 2 months after releasing details of 23 different CIA hacking tool projects under Vault 7 series, WikiLeaks today announced a new Vault 8 series that will reveal source codes and information about the back-end infrastructure developed by the CIA hackers. Not just an announcement, but the whistleblower organization has also published its first batch of a Vault 8 leak releasing source code and development logs of Project Hive, a significant back-end component the agency used to remotely control its malware covertly. In April of this year, WikiLeaks disclosed a brief information about Project Hive, revealing that this project is an advanced command and control server malware control system that communicates with malware to send commands to execute specific tasks on its targets and receive exfiltrated information from the target machines. Hive is a multi-user, all-in-one system that can be used by multiple CIA operators to remotely control malware implants and use in different operations. Hive's infrastructure has been specifically designed to prevent attribution, which includes a public-facing fake website following multi-stage communication over a virtual private network. Using Hive, even if an implant is discovered on a target computer, attributing it to the CIA is difficult just by looking at the communication of the malware with other servers on the internet. As shown in the diagram, the malware implants directly communicate with a fake website running over commercial VPS, which looks innocent when opened directly into the web browser. However, in the background, after authentication, the malware implant can communicate with the web server hosting fake website, which then forwards malware related to hidden CIA server called Blot over a secure VPN connection. The Blot server then forwards the traffic to an implant operator magnet management gateway called Honeycomb. In order to evade detection by the network administrators, the malware implants use fake digital certificates for a Kaspersky lab. Digital certificates for the authentication of implants are generated by the CIA, impersonating existing entities, Wikileaks says. The 3 examples include: in the source code, build a fake certificate for the antivirus company Kaspersky Laboratory, Moscow, pretending to be signed by a Thought Prime server in Cape Town. The whistleblowing organization has released the source code for Project Hive, which is now available for anyone, including investigative journalists and forensic experts, to download and dig into its functionalities. The source code published in the Vault 8 series only contains software designed to run on servers controlled by the CIA, while Wikileaks assures that the organization will not release any zero-day or any similar security vulnerabilities which could be abused by others. So, that's what we have as far as this story is concerned right now. It's unclear how much this ties into this special counsel, these investigations, the Russian conspiracy theories, all of it. You know, when you have technology that is this sophisticated, that if fallen in the wrong hands, could lead to utter chaos, or not to mention start a war. I mean, I mentioned that example was if, like, China framed Russia for taking down our power grid. Or just North Korea framed somebody. I mean, and when you're dealing with technology that is that sensitive, it leads me to wonder why in the world you would ever need it to begin with. But it's been invented, it's here, and hopefully Vault 8 is somewhat, it can somewhat explain how to backtrack through some of this and find out what exactly the hell, who's doing all this spying and espionage, and what the truth of all this is. Because, with this technology, it's a very dangerous game. And if you don't stay ahead of it, it's going to, it could lead to total and complete anarchy and governments falling with the technology I've read about. So the bottom line here is this: we need to stay on top of it, and as long as WikiLeaks keeps releasing the pertinent information, we'll keep putting it out there. So Vault 8 delves into a lot of what Vault 7 covered and the inner workings of it. Hopefully there's some of you out there who are more tech savvy than I am, who will be able to understand it better, maybe figure out if you could conceal the source and then hide it, if you could backtrack somehow. But that's for bigger minds than me. So, I could barely turn on the television, so let alone run a political commentary show. But believe me, I'm not an internet people. So, but I felt that reporting this was extremely necessary and very important right now, because we're kind of getting to a point here where where is some of this shit coming from, and what in the world is going on with these investigations, where no one seems to know. Either they're all just lying or stabbing each other in the back, which very well could be, or they have no idea what the hell's going on either. So, one way or another, it needs to be figured out. However, I'd like to keep reporting on this because this is some important stuff. And like I said, my disclaimer on Wikileaks is 100% accurate reporting, better than any news organization in the world. So if you got a problem or you want to take them on, that's what you're up against. 100%, which is the best in the world. So I certainly will report all of this WikiLeaks material because it pertains to our CIA and espionage that was conducted on a presidential candidate and president of the United States unconstitutionally and illegally. So, we're going to keep on this, folks. So, anyway, that's about all the time I have for now. Thank you very much. Once again, please share, like, subscribe, and follow Right Side News on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel Right Side News. Follow me on Twitter at JHHoel, as in the Hoel Report. For the Right Side News, I'm Jim Hoel. I am your voice. Thank you and good night.